Joining me now is Windsor, Ontario Mayor Drew Dilkens. Mayor Dilkens, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So with the trade deadline quickly approaching and a deal unlikely by tomorrow, what does the uncertainty mean for the steel and auto industries in your city?
Well, it's certainly been a difficult 6 months, I can say. And we look at our unemployment rate today, and we're the highest in Canada, 11.2%. And it's certainly something we're not happy about. And it's all related to the uncertainty that we see with our trading relationship with our largest trading partner. So we're hopeful that a deal will be reached, even if it's not tomorrow. Keep negotiating. Let's get to the end of this. Business wants certainty, families want certainty, and right now it feels like there's a rainy day upon us. Let's get the certainty and get business back doing what they do best, which is employing people, making money, and building our economies.
Since Windsor's economy is so tightly tied with the U.S., what impact would additional tariffs have?
Well, it would be, depending on the amount, it could be catastrophic. I've said that from the very beginning. We have, especially in the auto industry, we have created a tightly integrated supply chain in the auto industry, Windsor being the auto capital of Canada, across the river, just 2 kilometers away, the city of Detroit, which is the motor city, the auto capital of the U.S. The supply chains on both sides of the border have been built up really as a region. And some have described it as analogous to unscrambling an egg if you think you're going to try and decouple all of the work that has been done. And this work goes back to the Auto Pact. It certainly goes back to the Free Trade Agreement. It goes back to NAFTA, obviously to CUSMA and USMCA. There's a lot of work that's been done, and the clusters and the skill sets have been built up in certain places where they make sense, like in Windsor, Essex, where we're the North American leader in tool, die, and mold. That's not a skill set that can just move to the United States as the president hopes to repatriate all of those businesses across the border. So we've got to find a pathway that works for everyone, that gets everyone a pathway to certainty, that gets business working again, and gets their money off of the sideline where it's parked right now and back into productive action.
Now, we've heard the Prime Minister say he's looking for the best deal for Canada. What would that look like to you?
Well, no tariffs. I mean, the USMCA is a tariff-free environment. Certainly anything that adds more cost to the automotive industry is bad for consumers. And we've said this from the very beginning, that a tariff is really a tax on consumers. And so you see the OEMs biting and eating part of that tariff today, and you see it playing out on their bottom line. I think our largest employer, Stellantis, we make the Windsor Assembly Plant makes the Chrysler Pacifica. Here in our city, they're our largest employer, but they just reported a multi-billion-dollar quarterly loss. They can't continue operating like that. And so there has to be a pathway to either pass those costs on or cut back expenses, and the expenses that are being added directly relate to tariffs at this point.
Is Windsor prepared for possible 35% tariffs?
I don't know how you'd prepare for that. And you know, that 35%, again, is in the realm of just being catastrophic. We would have to find a lot of other trading partners to sell our goods to. We're a trading nation. The United States is our largest trading partner. In the city of Windsor, we host the Ambassador Bridge. It's the busiest commercial border crossing between our two countries. And so we really need to find a pathway. And I know the Prime Minister, this is a complex negotiating environment with a person like Donald Trump, but it's also complex in terms of the way that we've built up certain industries like softwood lumber, like dairy. And so there has to be a pathway, I know, that satisfies the majority, and I'm sure the teams are working on that. But we're with the Prime Minister. We want him to be successful. We need him to be successful. And whatever we can do to help support him, we are on the standby to do that.
Mayor Dilkens, thank you for your time today. That is Drew Dilkens, Mayor of Windsor.